inspected in 2010 by Ofsted, and we received an overall outstanding judgment. But particularly equality and diversity was graded as good, and we were pleased with that. We weren't disappointed that we got good, but there were areas that we wanted to improve, and particularly around the learner experience and what we were doing for learners from an equality and diversity point of view.
The need for the improvement project was identified as a result of a series of walk-through observations in a number of curriculum areas, and the outcome of these observations was a focus on the use of, how can we put it, inappropriate language by particular learner groups, and the need to enable learners to reflect upon their use of language.
The college has worked as an improvement partner with ALSIS for over a year now. We have a team of advanced practitioners that are working across the college. They really get involved in any level of activity. They're around enhancing teaching and learning, working on quality assurance issues, supporting new staff, mentoring. It's a whole range of activities that they get involved with. And I think the involvement in professional dialogue, staff have found really beneficial, and a way of looking at activity in a very different way possibly to how we've done that in the past.
Professional dialogue underpinned the mindset of the members of the advanced practitioner team from the very outset of the project, and enabled the project to, how can we put it, to flow in a very natural, organic way, achieving more perhaps than we would have achieved if it had been very structured. Engagement with the learners was achieved by, firstly, initial dialogue with the course tutors, then the course tutors speaking to their learners, and then stage one being the construction learners being filmed. The purpose of the filming, I suppose, to present eventually a mirror of the learners' verbal behaviour to the learners themselves. The response right from the very outset was incredibly positive, with the course tutors coming up with very creative suggestions as to how the project might be developed in terms of both methodology and strategy.
The learners reacted to being filmed quite well. There was a bit apprehensive at first. It was like, well, who's filming, where we're getting done. But because we filmed in our classroom for the theory, they was a bit more comfortable with that. But they embraced it. We gave them questions and we just let them answer, we let them go with it. Where they thought appropriate language could be used, where it shouldn't be used, the types of language. We made a table, we filled the table in of the language used, that they use, that they've heard, who they've heard it from, which was really interesting. And we got them to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Some of them thought some language was really acceptable, some thought it wasn't. After that, we've just had discussions. We've put a lot of the emphasis on the language used within construction, where they're going to use it out on site, when they're going to use it when they're older, when they have children of their own and they've got people coming to the houses.
I think it's something that has helped other people to kind of see, oh, we might be taking a bit too far and stuff.
It's made me realise how many other words can be offended and portrayed. So one thing that might seem harmless to us can offend another person. It'll be useful when we get into full education, because obviously if we're on a building site or wherever we go to next, we can't just run our mouth, because that could lead us to the sack, and then that'll just spiral downwards and we'll end up in all sorts of trouble, really.
It's a real good way of making learners aware that eventually they're going to be working with people, with clients, they're going to be running businesses. The way they talk to people, the language they used has to be an appropriate and a professional way. If it isn't, they'll never succeed.
The main difference that the project has made has developed an awareness within the advanced practitioner team that by starting with a small focus group, i.e. in this case the construction learners, we can work with that group and gradually expand outwards and see this small project as connecting onto future projects. So for example, the learners that we've currently been working with, these learners to become self-regulating, to develop their own rules, and then to become, let's say, language mentors for for other students.
From an organisational point of view, the way we've gone about doing this and the experience that it's given, the use of the improvement team, the use of professional dialogue, the use of staff and students in bringing about a change, that has all been a very rewarding experience. As a college, we are continuing to develop and improve. We don't see that we are standing still. We want to continue to improve and develop and enhance what we're doing. We want to work with other people in doing that as much as possible. We're looking to get involved in any other projects that might be coming up in the future where we can sort of share our experiences but also enhance things for the sector generally. We enjoy working with other providers, we enjoy offering that support and any opportunities that we can get engaged in any activity that helps improve the sector, then we're more than willing to do so.